cross-legged sitting position. You can just bring your hands on top of your knees, thighs. And then if you need to get any kinks in the body, go for that before just kind of settling into some stillness. And then just come into your body and focus on just where you are right now. So sits bones grounding down, this long column of the spine, lengthening nice and long, ending at the top of your head, feeling the shoulders slide down your back as the crown of your head reaches up. Have the back of the neck nice and long. And then just find some breaths here, observing your breath. It doesn't have to be any particular pattern, don't have to manipulate it too much, just start taking some breaths. And then as you keep going for these breaths, just kind of taking a slight body scan, starting at the crown of the head, making sure the eyebrows are soft, face is kind of slack, shoulders soft, the hips aren't gripping. And then I just want you to float your hands so that they're wrapping around your rib cage, as long as that's okay as long as it doesn't feel too uncomfortable in the shoulders. So your thumbs are wrapping behind 4 fingers in front. And then just start finding that inhale and exhale here. And then if you're comfortable with it, finding that inhale through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Feeling the lateral expansion starting to help you hone in on your core muscles. If you feel like your mind is starting to drift, going towards other things, just some perspective, you're not doing anything else right now anyway, so you might as well focus on the task at hand, which is coming into your body and focusing on that breath. Always something to come back to enhance the practice and just focus the mind. As you keep going for this breath technique, you're going to start to feel the abs zipping in every time you exhale. So inhaling to the thumbs, exhaling through the fingertips, through the pointer fingers, as you feel the ribs close and the belly draw in. Let's go for 2 more like that. Last one, empty out the lungs entirely on the exhale. Good. From here, we're just gonna take a little bit of a back stretch. Reach your arms up to the ceiling, get long. And then I want you to start to hinge your chest forward. And then once your hands can come down or forearms can come down, if you're flexible enough, you can round your head. And then just try to take some deep breaths here. Think about like 4 deep breaths, really letting yourself sink. Last 2. And then 1 last breath. And then slowly roll yourself up to seated. Roll your shoulders down your back. From here, you're going to just turn to one side of your mat. We're gonna start with a little bit of ab work. So knees soft, a slight bend. I like to flex my feet. It's for some C-curve rolling back situations. And if you ever want a little bit extra support, you're gonna take your pillow or your ball and you're gonna kind of wedge it underneath your butt crack. Other than that, don't reach for that unless you necessarily need to. You're gonna have your hands behind the backs of your legs and just use the traction to sit up tall. Feeling the traps get a little bit of a stretch, lengthening out of the low back, and then take an inhale here. As you exhale, you're gonna start to round back, tucking the tailbone so that just the very top of your butt crack is on the mat. Pause for your inhale, exhale, rolling forward, sitting up nice and tall. So nothing too crazy to start. It's a nice way to, especially if this is like the first really a bit of body movement you've done today. Just to kind of using the to tune in to what you're supposed to be doing, right? Especially as we start to add on things going into this series, we always want to start with somewhere that really roots us in the technique. So exhaling, tucking, scooping the abs and pausing, and then exhaling again, ribs pull forward. Let's go for just 2 more like that. And then last one. Knowing you can always come back here if you need to. You're gonna sit up nice and tall, reach your arms out. So I'm gonna stretch my legs a little bit just so I can sit up tall. I want your sit bones grounding down so you have this nice flat surface. From here, we're doing that same thing now with the arms reaching. So you're gonna tuck your tailbone, roll back to just that little C curve. Pause, inhale, exhaling through the mouth as you roll back up to seated. And then just keep going like that. It's very small range of motion. Always resetting in that neutral spine to stretch out the back and to just find that distinction between the tucked and the untucked. Let's go for 2 more here. And then on this next one, you're just gonna hold that C curve. Once you're there, think about digging the heels down into the floor. The more pressure you put into the heels, the less gripping you'll feel in the hip flexors. Scoop the belly in a little bit more so you're trying to hug your pubic bone towards your nose. And then you're gonna start to just inhale back 1 inch, exhale up 1 inch. And so this is just a little movement in the upper spine. So think about the rib cage as that kind of pivoting. Bottom of the ribs is like the pivoting point. So as you inhale, rib cage sends back 1 inch, exhale, belly pulls down and in, ribs come forward. So every time you lift, I want you to think about drawing the bottoms of your ribs to the top of your hips and then digging the belly down and back even more. And if you're not feeling this, maybe hinge back 1 more inch. Everyone's this kind of different range of motion as long as it doesn't hurt your back. Go for 8 more. Last 5, 4, last 2, and then roll all the way up to seated. Take a second to reset, grab behind your thighs, just lengthen up nice and tall. We're gonna do one last variation before lying down completely. So arms reach out in front of you, tuck your tailbone and roll back. So if you're very limited on space, you can go up instead, but if you have some room to the sides of you, you're supposed to inhale, open those arms towards like a V position, like you're hugging Santa Claus. Exhale, squeeze them back. Hugging Santa Claus. Just came out of my mouth. I don't know what I say half the time. And then again, if the hips grip, dig the heels down. Let's go for 4 more of the bilateral movement. And 3. Last 2. Keep scooping the belly in. Last one, hold. Now we're going to go into unilateral. Open just one arm out. Exhale, bring it in. Other arm out. Noticing the opposite side of your body having to stabilize. So getting into the side waist, the obliques. Four more to each side. And 3, tuck your tailbone a little bit more. And then 2 more to each side. Last set. Stay on your C curve. Same situation of hinging back 1 inch, up 1 inch. If you want this to be harder, arms can float up to the ceiling. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Last one. Roll all the way down to your back. Woo! Enjoy that upper body stretch. Reach your arms and legs in opposite directions. Get nice and long. Let your rib cage flare open. So glorious. And then we're going to flatten the feet, bending the knees. And then arms can come down next to your hips to start. We're going to go into some bridging here. So feet flat, parallel. Take a breath, and as you exhale, you're going to tuck your tailbone and start to roll your hips up. I'm going to start really small. I've been experiencing some low back pain, so if you ever relate to that, know that the higher you lift the hips, the more compression you'll kind of feel in the low back. So if you're feeling like your back is a little stiff today, like me, just start a little bit smaller. If you want to go crank them up to the ceiling right away, go for it. And just starting with that articulation as we always do. And then you can have your hands flat. If you want to open up through the collarbones and the chest a little bit, I always like to flip my palms to face the ceiling. I'm always kind of doing that to just bring a little bit more chest opening into the equation, especially in these days when we're, you know, at home, hunched over and not the best posture all the time. Maybe you're working at the computer a lot. Maybe you're doing arts and crafts like me and you're hunched over at your desk. Just a nice way to open through the shoulders. And then starting to make your way, if you're not already, into your full bridging variation. So rolling all the way up so that the hips are lengthened up higher than the chest. And then next time you're in your bridge, let's just hold that bridge. So dig down through the heels. Think about pulling the heels towards your ass and pulling your knees slightly forward to feel a little bit of a stretch in the front of your hips. From there, close the rib cage, close the chest, almost like a concave chest, honestly, just so that the butt can lift up a little bit higher. And then from here, you're going to start to lift one heel. Bring it down, other heel. So you're going to take a little calf raise, essentially, from one foot to the other. And then bringing awareness to the hips. If you ever want some tactile feedback, your hands can kind of monitor your pelvis. Next time your right heel is lifted, you're just going to hold that right heel lifted. I want you to dig into the left heel really heavily, like you're trying to squish a bug underneath your left foot. You're going to start to float that right leg into tabletop. And then if that right away, let your chest pop open again, bring a little softness to it, lift your hips up a little bit higher. You're going to start to stretch that right leg up like you're trying to point your toe towards the ceiling, bend the knee, like a little dance move. Elegant, rockette vibes. Let's go for 5 more. Or if you want to go a little bit harder, arms can come up to the ceiling. Last 3, 2, hinge that or point that leg up and hold tiny pulses up, stamping down through that left heel, feeling that crease underneath your left ass cheek for 8. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the foot down. Roll your hips all the way down. Take a breath in. Exhale, tuck and roll right back up. And then before going right into the other side, start to just kind of press into one foot at a time. So that same little cue of trying to squish a bug underneath each of your feet. So trying to press down through the left heel, which is probably tired since you just worked a lot, and then press down through the right heel. You won't really see anything happening. You'll just kind of really feel it. Next time pressure's in your right heel, pause, float your left leg up into tabletop. Squaring the hips off, making sure you're lengthening both waistlines equally as long. Extend the left leg and then bend. Let's go for 6, 5. If you want to bring those arms up, you can. 4. Last 3, 2. Extend and hold, tiny pulses up. For 10. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the foot down, roll your hips all the way down. From here, you're gonna come all the way up, and then we're gonna come into a quadruped position. So, flip onto hands and knees. And then just take a few seconds to organize yourself, hands right underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And then you're gonna start to just breathe into the low back. Let your tailbone rock out like you're trying to spread your butt cheeks. And then as you exhale, just tuck the tailbone. So it's not a full cat-cow. It's just articulation through the lumbar spine. So if you were on like your back, we would just pretty much be doing that pelvic tuck like we did when we were going into bridges. Let's go for 3 more. Keep pressing your hands away from your chest. 2. And then after this last one, you're gonna start to go into full range of motion, so full spinal flexion. Inhale, finding that neutral, or you can find an extension if that feels okay for you. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, finding that neutral or a slight extension. And then if you'd like to, you can take this at a quicker pace if you want to like pump some blood into the body, or you can take this slow. You can also go into some circles, some rolls of the hips and the neck, whatever feels good. No rolls here. We have about like 10-ish more seconds here. So do whatever feels good. Maybe you kind of need to sway back and forth. And then find your neutral. Flip the wrist to face your legs, to face your knees, like we're in the exorcism. And then you're gonna start to do that same thing. You're gonna find your sits bones flaring as you drop the belly. Exhale, tuck and round. Let's go for 2 more. Last one. And then flip your hands back to this way that they naturally go. Tuck your toes underneath you, and then we're just gonna find a few knee hovers. So I want you to press into the toes, press into the heel of the hand, hover the knees off of the mat, and then lower them back down. So a lot of TVA, a lot of that deep core muscle group. And then next time you lift the knees up and hold, you're just gonna pause here and then check in with the body, right? So this is obviously a very challenging position, but try to make it look effortless by pulling the shoulders away from the ears, hugging the abs up and then making sure the back is flat and that it's not rounded like a cave. Just hold here for 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, in 3, our hips go up, last 2, 1. Hips go up, find a downward dog. So holding that downward dog, just taking some breaths here and letting the backs of the legs open up, letting the heels melt down to the floor. And then you're gonna bend one knee. Let that opposite heel get a little bit deeper of a stretch through the calf. And then switch. Bend the opposite knee, let that one heel sink down. Let's do that one more time. Bend one knee. And then the other. Roll forward into a plank. And then we're just gonna hold this plank and breathe for 5, 4, last 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees down, open the knees wide, bring your belly back in between your thighs, find a child's pose. And let this kind of just stretch out the low back. You can tent the hands up onto the fingertips and press yourself back a little bit more. And then when you're ready, you're just gonna come roll up to seated. So grab your prop, so your pillow, or if you have a ball, you can have a ball. And then you're going to, I'm gonna fold the pillow so that it's dense, because that's what we're going for. You're gonna place it at the center of your mat, and then you're gonna flip yourself around, and you're gonna lie down so that it's right behind your shoulder blades. So the reason we just did all of that like yoga stuff is because this would have felt kind of crazy if we hadn't have warmed up back first. So open your arms out wide to a goalpost position and just enjoy this little chest opener shoulder stretch for a few breaths. Let the crown of the head reach out long. Let the spine be really lengthy. Feet flat on the mat. I'm sure everyone in this class has done this before, but I just have to say the parameters of what you should be feeling. If the ball or prop is too low, you'll feel it in the low back. So make sure that it's right behind your shoulder blades. Interlace your hands behind your head. We're gonna go for some ab work. Wrap the elbows up to the ceiling. Take a breath in. Exhale, you're gonna nod your chin to your chest as you curl forward over that prop. Inhale, extend all the way back. Now, if you ever want this to be harder, you just are gonna scoot yourself so that that prop comes a little bit further down your spine. Just make sure it doesn't crawl all the way into the waistline. That's far too low, and that won't really be helping you in any way. So really, like the farthest down you can go is like bottom of the ribcage. Make sure you're actively pulling on the head. Almost think about pulling the head out of the, like off of the spine, which sounds kind of violent, but it's been kind of helping me release the back of my neck muscles. Go for like 4 more here. Last 3. Last 2. And the next time you curl forward, you're going to hold that curl forward. From here, again, give your head a little shake if you need to. You're gonna start to float one leg into tabletop and the other leg into tabletop. Now, if you ever need to bring those feet down, you can. And if you ever need to take a rest, you can. Otherwise, we're gonna keep going. So we're gonna start by just finding a pelvic tuck. You're gonna think about releasing your butt so that your back is nice and flat. And then as you exhale, you're gonna tuck. Inhale, release, exhale, tuck. It's a very intense low ab curl. Let's go for 8. This is 5. Can you curl up your chest 1 inch higher? 30. 2. You're gonna find your neutral position and hold. You're gonna extend one leg long. You're gonna rotate to the opposite knee. Come back through center, other side. Think about going up and over opposite armpit to opposite hip crease. Let's go for 5, 4, 2, 1. I want you to rotate to the right knee and hold. You're gonna take a little pulse towards that thigh for 10, 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, push through. Last one, come all the way through center, all the way over to the other side. Tiny pulses up, 10, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring your feet down, take a rest. Reach your head back. You can bring your arms wherever feels good. We have one more set of this ab series. Two breaths here. And then bring your hands once again behind your head. Curl forward and hold. Bring your legs into tabletop and hold again. Curl up a little higher. From here, you have 10 pulses of the chest and center. 7. In 5, we're staying up. Belly goes down and back. 2. Hold the lift. You're going to bring your heels together, toes apart, extend your legs, bend the knees. Extend the legs, bend the knees. If you want to go a little harder on yourself, you can send them lower on the diagonal. If your low back hurts, send them higher. Those are the rules. Let's go for 5, 4, in 3, we're holding. Last 2. Extend and hold 10 pulses up of the chest. 10. 5, lower your legs 1 more inch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. All the way down. What a life. Take some breaths in here. Last breath here. All right. Come off of your prop. Once again, we're going to come on to all fours. So once you're on all fours, we are going to, I'm going to walk to the front of my mat because you want the length of your mat behind you. Tuck the left toes back, and then you're just going to start to point and flex through that left foot, left heel. I've been doing this I've been doing this night and day just to always release that calf muscle, getting a stretch through also the tibialis anterior and the soleus, all of those muscles that stabilize your balance that are around your ankle. Mine get very tight, especially the more that I go outside after I've been in quarantine for 3 months. Okay, and then next time that toe is pointed, just hold. Make sure that right knee is right underneath your right hip and that it's not underneath your belly. Very important note. Hands stay grounding down. You're going to start to float that left leg up and then tap it back down. Going for our next little glute section. So I'm going to stay on the hands because I want to take this into some balance work. If the hands or wrists don't feel good, you can come down onto the forearms. Both are totally fine. As you lift that leg up, you're kind of feeling this nice hip stretch in the front of that left hip. So really lengthening through the front of that leg as you lift it up. And try to also make sure that you're like balancing a wine glass or something very breakable on your low back. I don't want to see your back rounding and extending. It's staying flat like a table. And then adding on that balance challenge, guys, it's something to play around with, maybe not something to maintain necessarily. But the more that you keep going, if you'd like to, you can always reach that right arm in front of you. See how that goes? Or you can bring the right hand behind your back. Again, you don't have to stick with that. It's just kind of fun sometimes to challenge your balance. Last 4, 3, 2, lift that leg up and hold. Hug your belly in. You're going to flex through the left heel, bend the knee for a hamstring curl, point through the toes, extend. Flex and bend, point and extend. And then press a little bit more into that left hand. Sometimes I get the complaint that your stabilizing leg is hurting. That means that you're leaning way too much into that right leg. So make sure the weight is over that left hip. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, hug your belly in. Last 2, bend the knee and hold. From here, you're gonna open the knee, bring it down, press it up. So you're making big old circles with that left thigh bone. You feel kind of nice on the hips. And then while that leg is moving around in this beautiful circular motion, try to keep the butt really active by not letting that hip open. I don't want to see the front of your leggings or your pants at all. So make sure that I only see the side of your butt. Let's go for 5 more in this direction. Or maybe you play with that right hand hovering again, very hard with external rotation. Last 2. Reverse it, yeah? Open it out like you're peeing on a fire hydrant, press it up through center, tap the knee down. Hopefully, definitely feeling that left butt cheek. For 5. And 4. Last 3. 2. And then you're gonna hold that leg up to the ceiling and center. Take little pulses up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, my butt is on fire. Bring your knees down. Sink your hips back for a second into a child's pose and walk your hands, gaze forward and walk your hands over to the right. And then you can soften the forehead back down. That'll just help you get a little bit length out of that left side. Let your left butt cheek spill over to the left side of your mat. Okay. From here, slither on forward. You're gonna come onto your forearms. Once you have your forearms down, you're gonna step your feet back and find a full forearm plank. So, staying down here, you're just gonna hold and breathe. Press the shoulder blades nice and wide. Tuck your tailbone up and in. Energy out through the crown of your head. If you need to come down to your knees, you may. You have 10 seconds. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your knees down. Bring your hands back up underneath you. You're gonna crawl yourself forward to the front of your mat. If you're not already, step your right foot back. We're gonna rock and roll, yeah? Rocking through that right heel. Next time that toe is pointed so that you're nice and stacked. Again, if you need to come down to forearms, go down to forearms. You're gonna start to float that right leg up, tap the toe down. As that leg lifts, hug your abs up and in. And then if you wanna play around with that balance, try it on this side. This side might be easier, it might be harder. You never know until you try. It's just always like one of the funnest things about, most fun things about Pilates is finding those kind of very slight imbalances. Let's go for 5. Woo, 4, 3, 2. Lift the leg up and hold. So keeping the thigh lifted, flex through the heel, bend the knee, point through the toes to extend. And then see if you can press into that right hand a little bit more and not be leaning into that left hip. Let's go for 6 more. Finding that self-resistance, finding that sensation of moving through peanut butter. Last 2. Bend the knee and hold, flex the foot, open the knee out, bring it down, circling up, around, and down. Bring it around, down. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then reverse it. Opening out like you're peeing on a fire hydrant, press it up, bring it back down. Not like you're peeing on a fire hydrant, like your dog is peeing on a fire hydrant, because we don't do that as humans, but if we were, this is what it would look like, yeah? Last 6, 5, 4, keep hugging the abs in, last 3, 2, the more you hug the abs in, the more you'll feel your glute if you're doing that right. Good, last one, press the foot up and hold, pulses up for 10, Bend the knee a little bit more. Make sure it's at that deepest bend for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring the knees down. Hips go back. Gaze slightly forward in between your hands. Walk your hands over to the left and then lengthen down, getting nice and heavy. Let that right hip spill over to the right side of your mat. Okay, we have an ab intermission. So flip onto your back. Lie all the way down. And then we're gonna go for some roll-ups, taking it into some teasers. So start with just, let's start with just a little figure 4 stretch. So cross your right ankle in front of that left knee. Left hand comes behind that left thigh. And then just flex that right heel and think about sticking your tailbone down away from your nose so that you're trying to lengthen your butt away from your face. And then bring the right foot down, keep a hold of the left thigh, extend the left leg up, and just take a little hamstring stretch. If you'd like to extend the bottom leg as well, go for it. And then cross that leg over the right knee, hands come behind the right hamstring, flex, figure 4 on the other side. Or just stretching out the legs so that as we go into some ab work, we don't get a lot of grief from our hamstrings and hip flexors, which can happen sometimes. Bring the left foot down, extend the back of the leg up. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start nice and easy-ish. Extend your legs long on the mat so that both are nice and long. You're gonna reach your arms back overhead. You're gonna take an inhale. As you exhale, you're gonna roll up to seated. So you're gonna nod your chin to your chest, arms float up to the sky, roll up bone by bone by bone, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, rolling back. Let's just go for one more like that before we get fancy. Exhale, nod your chin to your chest, no momentum at all, using the abs. And then rolling back down. Okay, once you're lying down on your back, you're gonna bend let's bend the left knee. So the left foot is flat on the mat, right leg is long. We're gonna roll up and bring the right leg into tabletop at the same time. So you're lifting both ends of your body up. You're gonna nod your chin to your chest, roll up, float the right leg into a tabletop. Lift the chest up. Exhale, roll back down, controlling that right leg long on the mat. We have 3 more on the side. Take a breath in. Exhale, nod your chin to your chest, no momentum. As you slide that leg up into a tabletop and lift the heart up to the ceiling. And then bring it back down. One more. Exhale, chin to chest, rolling up, right leg lifting. Pause here for a breath or 2. And then bring it back down. We're gonna switch. Right foot flat, left leg long. Reach the arms up as you exhale. Nod your chin to your chest, left leg lifts. And then you roll it down. 2 more. Finding those little shakes. Last one here. And then rolling back down. All right, going into some hardcore stuff. You're gonna extend both legs long. We're gonna bring both legs into tabletop as we roll up, going in for a little teaser variation. So take a breath. Exhale, nod your chin to your chest. Start to roll both ends of your body up. And then you're gonna slowly release them back down. Make sure the feet don't touch until the shoulder blades touch. 2 more like that. Lifting up, finding that balance. And then rolling back down, feet don't touch until the forehead or until the shoulder blades or head touch. Last one like that. Holding this at the top here, just take 3 deep breaths. Lift your heart up a little bit more. Last 2. Last one. And then slowly roll down. We are not done yet, folks. You're gonna go into a full teaser. So if any of the further options, if the former options felt like enough, go with those. Otherwise, if you're feeling advanced, heels together, toes apart. Arms float up. Take a breath. As you exhale, straight legs are gonna pike up as you roll up, finding a full teaser. And then straight legs lower down as you roll the head down, feet and shoulder blades at the same time. Good, you have 4 of those, or 4 of whatever else you wanted to do. Getting a nice proud chest at the top. Still articulating through the spine. You have 2 more, I think. I'm really bad at counting these days. It's summer. That's my excuse. And then everyone meet me at the top of either a bent leg or a straight leg teaser. Holding here, lifting the chest up. Good for 5. This is 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll onto your back. Draw some circles with the knees, massaging the sacrum on the mat. And then reversing those circles. How fun, how classical Pilates, kind of. All right, we're gonna make our way into our last section. Go ahead and rock and roll up to seated, and then you're gonna flip onto all 4s. I've had a lot of fun with this one, but just keep in mind, I'm gonna be a little wobbly at it because it's a balance challenge for the glutes. So you're gonna bring your left foot forward. Left heel right underneath your left knee. And then you're gonna reach those arms up to the ceiling and then just take a little bit of a stretch here. It won't be like a deep psoas stretch necessarily. That's not what we're going for. We're just preparing for some standing work. From here, you're gonna start to hinge your chest forward, press into your left heel and lift your right leg up, standing onto the left leg. And then you're gonna reach that right foot back, tap the knee down with control, arms come up, open the heart. Hinge forward, press into the left heel, standing up. Finding your balance. Hinge forward, tap the knee down with control, arms come up. Now, if you don't want to tap that knee down, or if the knee is getting cranky, just put a pillow where you're kind of landing that right knee. Otherwise, just try to be as controlled as possible. This is one of those that you get better as your body realizes what's going on, right? So if you're a little wobbly right now, do not lose hope. Hinging, pressing, standing up. Let's go for 3 more. Arms float up, take that hip flexor stretch, hinging forward, pressing up, woo! Balance. Let's go for 2 more. Balancing, it's hard. And then at the top of your next lift, at the top of your next balance, you're just gonna hold. So press all the way up, right leg lifts into a tabletop. Woo! Hold and breathe for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the right foot down, shake it out. Turn to face me, bring your feet parallel. We're gonna find a little bit of some squats, still focusing on that left thigh. So hands to hips, hinge your hips down, and then press into the heels, stand back up. Give me 4 of those, just starting with a very basic protecting of the knee squat. Let's go for 2. Lower down and hold. From here, you're gonna transfer your weight onto the left leg, so the leg you just worked. Step the right foot out, tap the right foot in. So hips are staying the same height. Spine is not lifting and lowering. You have 4, 3, last 2. Step that toe out and hold. Hands come into a prayer position. Sink down 1 more inch. You're gonna rotate your sternum to the left. Inhale, center. So you should really be feeling that left butt cheek. If you're not, think about sitting your hips back and digging down through that left heel. Let's go for 5. And then also feel like there's like a little bit of some energy pulling that left leg out to the left so that the knee isn't caving in. Next time you twist, you're just gonna hold that, hold your chest at center, bend your left knee 1 inch down, 1 inch up for 8. Micro bend and extend for 7, 6. Last 5, press into that pinky toe of that foot, of that left foot. Last 2, 1. Stand all the way up. Whew. Step to the front of your mat, roll yourself down. Bend your knees, bring your hands flat, step back, find a plank. Holding your plank and breathing, if you need to come down to the knees, go for it. We're gonna tap our shoulders. Tap one hand to the shoulder, bring it down, other hand shoulder. Even if the knees are down, try not to wiggle the hips from right to left so much. Try to keep them relatively square to the mat. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more sets. Last set. Knees come down, find a quadruped, step your right foot forward. No time to waste, guys. Reach your arms up to the ceiling, take this nice psoas. Stretch. Whew. Back toes are tucked. You're gonna hinge your chest forward. We're gonna go for that balanced standing work. So just press into the right foot, press and lift that left leg. And then you're gonna hinge back forward, toes tap down, knee taps down, arms come up. Hinging forward. Whoa, this side is very hard for me. Lifting up. But trusting that your body is very smart and we've warmed up all the muscles that we need in order to achieve this. So your body will just slowly start to learn what you're trying to do here. Might delay a second. Let's go for 4 more of these. This is 3. Woo. Last 2. Woo. And then next time you're lifting up, just hold that balance for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we just have those squats and then we're out of here. So feet making the number 11. Let's find 4 squats just to reset. 3. Thinking about sitting into an imaginary chair, hinging the hips back for 2. Lower down and hold. Here we are. You're gonna step your left foot out. Tap it back in. And again, guys, make sure the knee isn't caving. Oh my God, that immediately irritated my knee. Yeah, make sure the knee isn't caving to the left. It's being pulled to the right. Last 4, 3, 2. Step it out and hold. Prayer position with those monos. Rotate to the right. Inhale, center. For 6. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the rotation, or I'm sorry, last rotation, hold center, find a pulse down an inch and up an inch for 8. 7, digging down through the right heel, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand all the way up. Wiggle it out. Oh, Lord. All right, so just take a few shoulder rolls and then I'm just gonna take us through a nice little hamstring stretch to finish. So you're going to bring your hands to interlace behind your butt crack. Press your hands down, opening up your chest. Take a little opening, slight lift through the sternum. You're gonna hinge your chest forward and bend the knees and let those arms fold up to the ceiling, maybe overhead. Stretching out the shoulders and letting your exhales take it a little bit heavier. Let your chest come down towards your thighs. All right, guys, you're gonna lift your head up or lift your heart up so that you're in a flat back position. You're gonna bend your right knee and straighten the left leg and open your heart to the ceiling, twisting to the left side. That'll feel very tingly, hopefully in that outer IT band, so all the way up and down the side of that left leg, letting your butt pop and roll open. Whew, that was my neck in case you're wondering. Take 2 breaths here. And then you're gonna bend both knees flat back, extend the back of the right leg, open your heart up to the ceiling, twisting to the right. Taking breaths here, letting that right IT band and lateral hamstring. Stretchy, stretch, stretch. Bend both knees when you're ready. Let your arms and your head relax down. Take a few head rolls. You can grab opposite elbows and sway from side to side. Whatever variation of a roll down or a forward fold that you feel good about right now. Try to bring your chest closer to your legs. Bringing your body into itself to calm the nervous system. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, you're gonna start to roll yourself up to standing, nice and slow. Bone by bone by bone. Once you get to the top, shoulders roll up, down, and back. And you guys are all done. Thanks for hanging out and trying that funky standing stuff. That was fun for me. Hope it was fun for you.